Hi everyone, we've just spent 4 wonderful days here at Boondooma Homestead in the South Burnett region. Absolutely wonderful, isn't it, Joe?
It's a beautiful place.
Yep.
And so much history. This is the original homestead from the 1850s.
And cattle in the background.
Cattle in the background. Look, it's well worthwhile stopping here. There's just so much to see and so much information to absorb, so we thoroughly recommend it.
Very quiet, peaceful, plenty of space, toilets, a shower,
Dump point.
just wonderful. Yeah,
Very important. Notice the wives never mention the dump point because they never have to do it. But us blokes, it's always on the top of our list. Yeah. So there we go. They do have a dump point here too. Here's the sign that greets you. You can. Whoops. And it's just a wonderful place. So make sure you come and have a look. The caretakers are beautiful people. So very, very helpful. Peter and
Diane and Marion here.
And Marion, they've just given us so much information and knowledge about this wonderful, wonderful place. So anyway, come along with us. We'll show you how we spent our 4 days here.
Enjoy.
Boondooma Homestead is about 130 kilometres north of the town of Dalby on the Mundubbera-Durong Road. Now this lovely old building is the stone store building. It was actually built from locally procured materials from the land here. And we'll take a little step inside. It's probably a bit dark, but we'll see what we can see. And a little bit of history there on the storyboard. It's built by Wilhelm Brell in 1854. He built this house. Took him 4 years. And after that he was employed at this station as a shepherd. Lots of little trinkets and that here. Old kerosene fridge, some work implements and so on. But you can see some beautiful stonework here. The mortar was actually termite mounds, of all things. And originally the roof was shingled, but galvanised iron was used to replace it at a later stage. A little bit of controversy about the purpose of the bars, but we've been assured it was to stop the workers from raiding the stores. One really interesting thing about this building, it's the oldest surviving building that was made using metric measurements. Wilhelm, coming from Germany, would have been working in metres, so yeah, it's a metric building, believe it or not. And the other thing that's notable is the pitch of the roof. Let's see if I can show you a better angle on it. Very windy day. I hope the dead cat is working well. My little windsock. You see the steep pitch on there? Very typical of German buildings where it snows, and that angle's there to let the snow fall off nice and easy.
Righto, and here we've got the little boundary rider's hut. So there was a number of these situated on the property. The property itself is about 950, or was 956 square miles, about a third of the size of Scotland. We can go inside. This particular hut here was lived in by a boundary rider and his daughter. So they used to go away for a few months at a time. There were a number of these on the property. And very innovative back in the day, fully air-conditioned kitchen. Just gotta love that. How cool is it?
Now this one's interesting. It's called the Cool Shed. Made out of cypress pine, built around 1860. So there was a shingled roof and a thatched roof. And there's an airspace. You can actually see the airspace up there. And the idea is the hotter it got, hot air rises, it would cause cold air to be drawn in underneath and make quite a temperature difference inside. I don't know whether it would be the... Oh, it is. Look at that. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, this was used to store food. Pretty impressive, hey? People would sort things out. Wherever there's a need, they'd come up with a solution. Okay, so this has been restored by the Friends of Boondooma and the volunteers. Well, now here we are at the homestead proper. So this framework here is the cookhouse. They're trying to restore it all. They've got some of the original drawings and they're rebuilding it. The building was destroyed in a violent thunderstorm in 1927. I think there was a fire in this building, and then it sort of went derelict. But it's being rebuilt now by one of the families. Here we go. Alrighty. Now there was railway tracks here, and I'm not quite sure the purpose of it. Went out to the kitchen. I wonder if they would move their provisions backwards and forwards or something. We'll have to find out what the story is, and have a look at this, guys. It was built in the 1860s, 1850s, 1860s. Look at that. Let me just check. 1852. Built 1852, between 1852 and 1856. Southern end was built by French carpenters using the metric measure, and the northern end by English carpenters using imperial measure. That's probably why none of the walls are level, I'd say. But here we go. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. Isn't this wonderful? And the ceiling. Well, I reckon there would have been some yarns told at this table here, or maybe not this table, but this room, about the goings on in the property. There's the a hearth, I would say. Let's see if it is. Yes, it is. There's a flue up there. Lots of photos, family photos. Marvellous. 1917. This is a great old photo. Family Christmas Day, 1920. Oh goodness. Year of the Outback. It's very rustic, but it's also very grand in the same breath. Look at that. Ah, small flour sacks. Oh, a bit of faux card on the teapots. Race day 1933. So people in the area have donated items here, and they're proudly displayed. There's the Lawsons and the Alexanders. They were the founders of Boondooma. They had a land holding which was, I think it was a third the size of Scotland, or words to that effect. Or size to that effect, I should say. We'll have a look at that and confirm that. Ah, this could have been the laundry. Well, this is where we come in before, folks. Cool. Round trip already. Good old copper. There we go. So instead of having a washing machine, you have one of these This looks like a fire one actually. You'd light a fire under there, you'd boil the water up, you throw all your clothes in there with some soap, and away they'd bubble for a while, and you take them out and rinse. And talk about hygienic, there'd be no germs on that clothing, that's for sure. I don't know when they come out of favour, but yeah, this looks like a fire one. And you can see the copper container there. Beautiful. Alrighty, let's venture further into the building. Okay, it's a dining room with an old organ. Look at the ceiling. A little bit dark in here. Beautiful fireplace. And these are interesting. I've seen these in a few places now. It's a promissory note. So a lot of these farms and places were quite a ways away from a bank. So they'd pay their staff with these promissory notes, which could be used like normal money. And at the end of the day, the homestead would collect them up and sort of swap the money for, swap the value in real money at the bank. Pretty cool, huh? Bit of family history there, some faces that have shared their lives in this grand old house. Wow. Just amazing. It's got an interesting smell of, it's sort of like a wood smell. Robert Alexander. So that's one of the original founders of the homestead. Whoops, I'm kicking everything. Beautiful old piano. Some photos, old family photos and trinkets there, an old gramophone, a typewriter. Here's one of the bedrooms. Oh, I wonder if this was the bunkhouse. Not sure. Let's have a little look here. What have we got? Loyal Orange Lodge. There we go. I'd never heard of that one before. Orange Lodge. And here's an ad for this very organ by the looks of it. There we go. There's one of the bedrooms. Ooh, she would have been... Oh, it doesn't look that drafty, I guess, but you get the impression that it could have been a bit drafty here in winter, I don't know. Another bedroom there. Now, there's something interesting about this floor. I don't know whether you can see it, but they used to have dances here, and this whole floor is sprung. So, there you go. Now, this little building here is called Brownie's hut, on the grounds of Boondooma Homestead. It was actually moved here in 2002 from a property called Glen Tollock to this present site. Donated the building to the compound. Let's pop in and have a little look inside. So this was once upon a time a residence. So there's the hearth, the hearth, I don't know what you call it, where the fire was, the kitchen basically. An old fridge, probably an old Kero fridge, I'd say to guess. Some of these great old knickknacks. Now this is something you don't see very often. My dad actually had one of them. I've still got it, I think. It's sort of a shoe frame. Used to use it to nail soles on your old boots, because once upon a time they were considered a bit valuable, and you wouldn't just throw them out. And a couple of irons there. They'd go on the stove and heat up, and then you iron as quickly as you can. Oh, it looks like a toy. A couple of toys there too. Beautiful. And this is probably the bedroom. Oh well, there's a bedpan in there. Very dark. Sorry about the footage, folks. But and that was someone's house. There you go. We've got it very, very swish now compared to what the pioneers used to have. Hey, check out this mulberry tree. Would you believe it's probably close to 150 years old? Look at the trunk on it. I'm surprised it's still alive, and it's still bearing fruit. So there's quite a few very old fruit trees here at the homestead. Here's another one. Look how craggy that trunk is. But there you go, she's still bearing fruit. It's just wonderful. And with some beautiful old roses here. I'm doing some lovely work on the gardens, hey. The roses, there's some more grapes. They've been here for so long. That's the thing that amazes me. And here's the orange trees. Now these orange trees were planted around the time the house was built. I was here a few years ago and was asked if I could have one of the oranges to see what I... Look at that, some little fairy wrens down there, blue wrens, beautiful. Apparently the parrots really love the oranges here, because they're probably, from memory, 60% seeds and 40% fruit flesh. So they had a good old feed on the seeds, that's for sure. Too. Now, there's a bit of a story about this bottle tree here. Magnificent looking tree. Well, apparently it started to look a bit poorly, and they got some tree surgeon out there and found that the inside of the trunk was starting to rot out. So they apparently cleaned it all up, filled it with cement, and it's never looked back. So a bit like a tooth filling, isn't it? Interesting. Oh, we're just walking in the museum building. I don't think it's open yet, or is it? Yes, it is. Wonderful. Let's have a little look inside. Oh, lovely. Some old treasures here. Violet ray machine, yes. Now these are one of these sort of gizmos back in the day that were supposed to give you all sorts of health benefits, and just pumping ultraviolet light all over yourself, concentrating it and so on. And I guess in a few years later they discovered that it's a main cause of skin cancer, so probably not a real good thing to have. Some old dolls. Is it me, or are these things rather creepy looking? I'd hate to see one at the end of the bed looking at me, that's for sure. There we go. Some lovely old books. That's an interesting... it's a zigzagger. Ah, 1930s zigzagger. Jeez, I never heard of a Valley CB brand before. There we go. Ah, the old abacus. You know, that's one thing I never learned how to use. Might be a bucket list item. Ah, here we go. Lovely old gramophone. Hair curlers. Interesting. Oh, look at the old tins. Golden syrup. There's an old squeeze box there. Honor. That's a really nice German brand. That would be a really good quality little squeeze box. And the old valve radio. Fabulous. This is a gorgeous model of the house. A lot of effort's gone into that. And so much of it is still there. That's why it's such a great thing to come and have a look here. A lot of this is still here. A lot of the trees, the fruit trees and that are still here. So, just amazing. Oh, and in we go. Here's another room full of little treasures. Well, you won't mistake that for a rum bottle, will you? So that's a little museum building. It was great having a look through there. So I really recommend you come and have a sticky beak.
Good morning, everyone. We're on the road again, heading to our next destination, and we thought we'd give a bit of a wrap for Boondooma Homestead. Joe.
Fantastic place. We so enjoyed our stay there. If you're a history buff, it's a must-see, and the caretakers were just wonderful, and the facilities were great.
Yeah.
A beautiful place. We'll be back again, and
Absolutely.
You must a must-see, I'd say, if you're into history, and or if you just want a couple of quiet days to soak up the serenity. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's not too far from Kingaroy or Dalby or Mundubbera. So yeah, if you're in the area, do yourself a favour and stay there, that's for sure.
Okay, see you next video.
If you've visited a grand old homestead, tell us about it in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to hit the like icon and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.